Today we're going to make an armature for our animal sculpture. Now you're going to be thinking in your head, what is the shape of the torso? You've got this figured out, so you're going to make a nice squishy base in the shape of the torso. Make sure there's air in there so when the slab is draped around it, it has room to shrink on the newspaper armature. Do not squish it so hard that there's no air. Your clay will crack on there, so don't squish it hard like that. Make sure it's nice and airy for your base. Grab some clay, make it sure it's a thick piece of clay. A half inch or around there is good because you're going to want to do fur and details later on, so you're going to want to carve into that slab. And then don't forget to also rib your slab on both sides so that it's nice and compressed and it will not crack. Don't forget to rib it. You're going to join the pieces together through scoring and create the torso using the rib and just compression. And then I'm giving the gesture at the end so the dog's back, it's going to be a dog. Now here I'm doing the exact same thing. You can see that I'm just making a different animal. This one's gonna be a fish. Same process, wrapping the slab. Don't forget to rib the slab before you ask it to turn. Don't forget to score. And then you'll see that I just create the fish torso, and at the end I am going to add the gesture. Okay, on to the next day. You're going to come back and it's going to be set up. Hopefully the clay will be stiff and you can now remove the newspaper. Notice I had to make a hole in order to get to all the newspaper. A hole can be great because that allows you to access the inside, and you might need to push out, create muscles or things from the inside of your shape. That would be a good time to do that. After you're done though, you're going to have to score up the holes and seal them. As I was working and refining the fish, once I started looking at the pictures, I noticed the belly. You can see here I did a little tuck in the middle because it was too fat at the tail. So I had to take away some clay. So I cut that away, and I'm going to score that back up, rib it, and make sure that it's really strong. So now it looks more like the fish body that I'm looking at. Going back to the dog head, in this one I decided to make it solid, just easier to work with. As soon as I got the general shape of the head solid, I'm going to scoop out the bottom and let it become somewhat hollow at the bottom. This allows it to dry, and I can work with it the next day. So after it's set up overnight, I come back to the dog head, I check it, and now I can work from the inside and make it look like the actual dog. After that's all set up, I can then score the head on and to the body, and make sure you score really well. I've kept the body and the head at the same moisture level so that they're going to marry really well and there won't be cracks. And notice how aggressive I was with scoring. I score everything and I get it all wet, and I'm going to make sure that everything is tightly wrapped. Once I add one piece to the next, I make sure that they slow dry. I also put a tilt in the dog's head to add gesture so he wasn't just straight up and down. And I'm thinking ahead to some of the details I'm going to have on him later on. So the dog head, once I get it on, I'm going to wrap it tightly so it can slowly set up. Such a big addition will need to dry really slow, so make sure you wrap it up really tight. Details will come later. Don't get too anxious to add everything.